How the world and future generations remember South Vietnam depends on us. We have two choices. The first is for the South Vietnamese to tell their own story. The second is to continue letting people like Ken Burns and John Kerry tell the wrong history of the South Vietnamese people.
I think the Vietnamese people hate us, and you can sense this, you can hear it. One of them, I turned to him and I said, what would be the best thing that we could do for you? And he said, go home. And I think this is an attitude that does. I turned to one and I said, well, fine, you've got to go in there and fight because it's your country. And he said, no.
Most of the 2 million men that you often hear quoted under arms, most of whom are regional popular reconnaissance forces, which is to say a militia, and a very poor militia at that, will simply lay down their arms, if they haven't done so already, and not fight. I can cite many, many instances, sir, when, as in combat, when these men refused to fight with us, when we were taken under fire, we Americans supposedly fighting with them, and pinned down in a ditch, and they'd refuse to come in to help us. Point blank refuse. I don't believe they want to fight, sir.
Among the many omissions in Ken Burns' 18-hour Vietnam War series, he refused to tell the story of the millions of Vietnamese refugees, or the 250,000 boat people who died trying to escape, or the 1 million people imprisoned in re-education camps. Nor did he show the victories and heroism of the South Vietnamese military. Why did Burns refuse to show this broadcast announcing a great South Vietnamese victory?
First and simplest, the Viet Cong suffered a military defeat. Its missions proved suicidal. If they intended to stay in the cities as a negotiating point, they failed at that. The Vietnamese army reacted better than even its most ardent supporters had anticipated. There were no defections from its ranks, as the Viet Cong apparently had expected, and the people did not rise to support the Viet Cong as they also were believed to have expected.
There are those who want to rewrite history, to say the South Vietnamese wanted communism, and that the country of South Vietnam never existed.
I think something like 12,000 South Vietnamese soldiers desert every month. So if they're doing that, they're very successful. But the other side, the National Liberation Front, they know why they're fighting. That's why they've been fighting so well for so long. I mean, it's a people's war. It's truly a war of the people, by the people, and for the people.
It's time for the South Vietnamese to tell their own history. Help us tell the world the truth of the Vietnam War.